There are nights when the darkness doesn't just surround me. It seeps into the quiet places inside my chest, filling every space you once softened with a weight I've grown too familiar with. And as the hours unravel one slow breath at a time, I feel that familiar pull of you. Not sharp, not sudden, just steady enough to remind me that some absences echo louder than any presence ever did. I lean into the silence, letting it press against me like a question I've avoided answering for years. It's strange how the heart remembers even when the mind tries its hardest to forget. Your touch, your voice, the tremble in your laughter when you were trying to hide your fear. They return in fragments and shadows in the quiet shift of the air. When I close my eyes long enough to let the truth surface, sometimes I tell myself that I've moved on, that time has taken your shape out of the corners of my memory. But then a certain kind of stillness appears like tonight, and your name finds its way into the rhythm of my breathing, as if it never left, as if it's been waiting just beneath the surface, patient and relentless for the moment I let my guard fall. If you were here right now, standing in the doorway, like a half-formed promise, I don't think I'd speak your name. I just look at you with all the softness I never knew how to give you openly. The kind of softness that doesn't expect, doesn't demand, doesn't break, just exists quietly, fully, honestly. I'd wanna tell you that I never needed you to stay. I only needed you to trust that you didn't have to run. But those words would feel too fragile for a night already trembling under the weight of everything unsaid. So I'd let the silence do the talking, let it settle between us like a truth we both recognized before we were brave enough to name it. Sitting beside me, hands shaking just slightly, the way they always did when your heart felt too crowded for its own bones. And maybe I'd inch a little closer, not to fix anything, not to claim anything, but to show you that you never scared me. Not your darkness, not your wounds, not your quiet retreats into places I couldn't follow. But you're not here, and the room remains still, too still, as if it knows that the version of you I'm holding on to only exists in the softer corners of memory. So I breathe through the emptiness, letting it curl around me like a coat worn thin with use, familiar frayed. but still warm enough to make me stay. There's a part of me that hopes you think of me in the same unguarded way, in the moments when the world finally grows quiet and your heart wanders back to the places it felt seen, not loved, not claimed, just understood. And if someday, somehow you feel the weight of everything you never said pressing too hard against your chest, follow it the way one follows the faint glow of a star that refuses to burn out. It may just lead you back to the space you left in me, a space that never closed, never healed shut, never pretended to forget how your presence changed the way my heart learned to beat. Until then I sit here with the night draped over me, breathing slowly, letting your memory flicker like a candle in the dark, dim, gentle, but impossible to extinguish.
Some nights feel like they were designed to expose the parts of me I spend all day trying to hold together, the quiet fractures beneath my ribs, the soft places where your memory still lives without asking permission. Tonight is one of those nights. The world feels smaller, the darkness feels closer, and my own thoughts move through me like slow flames that don't burn, but illuminate everything I've tried to hide. I sit in the faint glow of the room, watching the shadows stretch long and like truths pulled too far from their meaning. Your absence settles on the air, the way dust settles on untouched shells, quiet, patient, inevitable. And for a moment, the weight of it almost feels like company. I breathe you in, as if your echo still lingers here, tucked between the spaces of my uneven heartbeat. It's strange how a person can leave, yet their presence remains carved into the architecture of your silence, shaping every corner of the emptiness they left behind. Sometimes I imagine you wandering through your own darkness, running your fingers over the parts of yourself you never let the world touch, wondering if anyone ever truly saw you. And I wanna whisper into whatever night holds you now. I did, I still do. If time folded in on itself and placed you in front of me again, not the polished version of you the world insists on seeing, but the real one, the one who breathes too slowly when he's scared, who looks away when he feels too much, I think everything inside me would fall silent, not out of fear, not out of longing, but out of recognition. Some souls don't forget where they once found warmth. I imagine you sitting beside me, your shoulders tense, as if you're trying to shrink away from the weight of your own vulnerability. possibility, and maybe I turn towards you just slightly, letting you know that you don't have to hide here. Not from me, not from this moment, not from yourself. But you're nowhere in this room, only the memory of what we almost were moves through the space between breaths. So I release a sigh that feels far older than my own voice, and let the night consume the pieces of you that refuse to leave. There's a quiet truth I keep returning to, not because it comforts me, but because it explains why you still feel so painfully familiar. Some hearts never stop holding the ones that taught them how to break softly. And if life ever loosens its grip, if the roads you walk lead you back to a moment where you feel the urge to turn around, I hope you let yourself listen to the pull beneath your ribs. It might just guide you to the place where my silence still knows your name, as if it never forgot how to speak it gently. Until then, I sit in the dimming light, letting the darkness fold around me like a confession I can't quite voice. Breathing slow, holding your memory, not like a wound, not like a hope, but like a truth, quiet, steady, and impossibly alive in the parts of me that the night refuses to forget. Some nights arrive so quietly that they feel less like hours passing, more like a confession I never meant to make. Tonight is one of those nights where the darkness settles on my shoulders with a gentleness that almost feels like your hands once did when you were trying to pretend you weren't holding something fragile. I sit in the stillness, my breath moving slow and uneven, as if inhaling too deeply might stir the memories I've finally learned to let sleep. But they wake anyway, soft, persistent, familiar, your voice echoing in the corners of my mind, like a truth whispered into a room that no longer remembers who said it. It's strange how the heart works. You think you've buried something, covered it in layers of time and distance, and then one quiet moment appears, and everything you tried to forget rises like smoke from embers you thought had turned to ash. Your name is that smoke for me, thin drifting, but impossible not to breathe in. I wonder if you ever pause in the middle of a crowded day, of something small, a scent, a song, the way someone else laughs pulls you unexpectedly back to me. Not to the person I was, not to the way things ended, but to the feeling, that soft unspoken understanding that lived in the space between our silences. If you walked into this room right now, I don't think my heart would race. It wouldn't break, it wouldn't beg, it would simply recognize you the way a familiar song recognizes the breath before the first
first note is played, some connections don't spark, don't burn, they glow, quiet and steady, even after the flame has gone out. I'd wanna tell you that I don't resent the distance, that I don't replay the past, trying to find the moment where everything slipped. Instead, I've learned to sit with the emptiness you left, to treat it not as a loss, but as a room inside me that only honesty can enter. But truthfully, there are nights like this where the ache feels less like acceptance and more like a soft bruise. My heart presses on just to see if it still remembers how to hurt. Sometimes healing isn't a clean break, it's a slow, uneven unfolding, a quiet rearranging of the places where someone once lived. And even now, even after everything, there's a corner of me that still feels warm when your memory sits down beside it. Maybe that's the part of love we never talk about, how it continues breathing long after the story ends, how it lingers, not in the moments we shared, but in the moments we imagined and never had the courage to reach for. And if someday, somewhere you feel the pull of a night like this, a night that asks you to remember something soft without breaking, I hope you let yourself follow it. It might lead you back, not to my door, not to my arms, but to the version of you that you left behind when you walked away from what we were. Until then, I'll remain here in the quiet hum of darkness, breathing through the ache, letting your memory wander where it wants to. Not a wound, not a hope, just a truth, still glowing faintly in the parts of me that never learned how to forget you. Some nights feel like they were born just to remind me of the parts of myself I still haven't learned how to face. And as the darkness drapes itself over every corner of this room, I can feel your absence settling into me again. Not suddenly, not painfully, but with the quiet confidence of something that knows it still belongs here. I breathe in the heavy air, my chest rising in slow trembling motions, as if the night is watching to see whether I can hold myself together for one more hour. And in that breath, the one I don't fully release, I find you, not as a memory, not as a hope, but as a truth I keep trying to outgrow and never quite manage to. The strange thing is, I don't miss you in sharp ways anymore. I don't break at the mention of your name, don't crumble at the thought of what we lost. Instead, there's this slow, steady ache, a kind of quiet longing that sits beside me like an old friend who doesn't need to be invited in, because 'cause it already knows the layout of my loneliness. Sometimes I wonder if you ever lie awake with the same heaviness pressing against your ribs, if the silence around you ever bends itself into the shape of a moment we never got to finish. Because here, in this dim little world I've built out of half-forgotten emotions, I can still feel the echo of your heartbeat in the places mine learned to beat a little too gently. If you walk through that door now, if your shadow stretched across this floor as it once did, I don't think I'd reach for you. I don't think I'd cry or run or beg the universe to give us another chance. I think I'd just look at you long enough for you to see that I survived the storm you left in me. But I never rebuilt the part where you once stood. I'd wanna tell you that you were the quietest disaster I ever welcomed, that your presence didn't tear me apart. It simply rearranged the pieces in ways I still don't fully understand. But maybe you were always meant to be the lesson I carried and never the home I returned to. The night grows heavier as the hours bleed into each other, and I feel the familiar pull of something I can't name, a longing, a bruise, a ghost that never learned how to fade. So I sit with it, letting it press against my chest in slow waves, reminding me that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to breathe even when something inside you still hasn't stopped crying. Maybe one day you'll feel the quiet tug of a memory you thought you outgrew, and it'll guide you back to the version of yourself you left behind with me. And maybe it won't be enough to change anything, but enough to finally understand that some souls don't leave. They just shift form, changing from presence to echo, from closeness to something that lies between the breaths we take when the world goes silent. Until then, I'll stay here in the dim light of my own thoughts, letting the night teach me how to carry the weight of you without breaking, how to let your memory live without demanding that you return to claim it.
A strange kind of clarity, the kind that exposes every fragile place inside me you once touched without even meaning to. Tonight is one of those nights where the silence feels a little too honest, a little too heavy, as if it remembers you better than I do. I sit here breathing slowly, each inhale a reminder that I am still living a life you once passed through. Each
exhale the echo of everything you didn't stay to hear. There's a tremble in my hands tonight, not from fear, not from longing, but from the realization that some truths choose to remain, even after the person tied to them has long since gone. I trace the rhythm of my thoughts, finding you scattered everywhere, in the pauses between heartbeats, in the dim corners of the room, in the quiet sighs. I release without noticing you linger, the way a soft bruise does, tender, half forgotten, but impossible not to feel when the night presses just right. Sometimes I wonder if the universe ever brings me to your mind the way it brings you to mine, quietly, unexpectedly, like a shadow passing over the soul without warning. I wonder if you ever stop walking because a memory brushes too close to your ribs, reminding you that some parts of your heart still remember my shape, even if the world insists you shouldn't. If you appeared before me right here, right now, with all your unspoken fears and unfinished thoughts, I wouldn't reach for you, I wouldn't try to fix anything, I wouldn't ask you to be what you couldn't be. I would simply let my eyes rest on you long enough for you to feel that I never hated you, for choosing distance, only wished you knew that closeness was never something you had to earn with me. I imagined the way your breath would shake when the truth got too close, the way your gaze would fall to the floor whenever your heart dared to feel more than you allowed it to. And maybe, just maybe, I'd whisper the words I never had the right moment to say. You didn't ruin me, you rooted yourself in the softest part of me. And soft things don't break, they bend, they reshape, they learn to hold pain without letting it swallow them. But you're not here, only the night is wide, patient, full of all the questions I've stopped trying to answer. So I let the silence stretch, let it curl around my bones like something ancient and familiar. I let your memory wander, untamed, unclaimed, through the emptiness beside me. And I don't chase it away, because the truth is some people never really leave. They become the quiet you return to. When the world grows too loud, they become the warmth in your chest. When everything else goes cold, they become the echo you whisper to the dark just to remember you once felt something that didn't fit into the language you were given. And maybe someday when the weight inside your soul grows too heavy to carry alone, you'll follow the pull you've spent years ignoring. Maybe you'll stand at a doorway that feels strangely familiar and realize your heart left something here it never learned how to retrieve. Until then I sit with the night breathing around me, the quiet carve out the truth that letting go was never the same as forgetting, and I haven't forgotten. Not the softness, not the ache, not the version of myself that existed only when your presence felt like a promise. You were too